guys. So, welcome everyone. I must admit, I'm very humbled to see a lot of professionals like you taking time on a Saturday to join this webinar. As you know, most of you are kind of close circle, right? You are part of my network in a way, or our CyberBahn's family of professionals where we worked before, we talked to you before or something. So conversation came a couple of months ago that, hey, why don't we offer some assistance to all those who are near and dear in terms of once they get their SPC certification, what next? What can we do? How can we help them? That includes my own team members, my friends, and all of you. And, so that's where we said, okay, why don't we just share? And this is I always say in my class, right? This is my personal biased opinion with a professional touch, wanted to share it with all of you. So having said that, can you all see my screen okay?
Yes.
Perfect. So let's get started, guys. Welcome again. We are part of CyberBahn group. We are a transformation advisory and supporting services such as training, etc. for all industries in a way. Our specialization mostly is from fintech, medical device manufacturing, automobiles, software development, which everybody mostly is, and so on. You can read about that on our website. But however, in this session, wanted to highlight that we are proud to be one of the 3 partners of SAFE that are both SPCT Gold as well as tooling partner. We also support software tools that helps people in the organizations, right? Mostly they are offered for internal clients in a way, but not a public offering is coming soon. So having said that, my name is Ramesh Nori. In case for whatever reason you do not know, my name is Ramesh Nori, and I am in SPCT with CyberBahn, and I head up the SAFE practice with CyberBahn team. Fantastic side of things. Having said that, guys, let's get started to the point, which is you are an SPC or you are on the path to become an SPC. So what next? What next? That's the whole idea, right? Now, to clarify that, let's just go through a couple of documents that I just prepped it. First one, let's understand the definition of an SPC. This is a straight pick from Scaled Agile as they define. SPC stands for Safe Program Consultants, who are typically change agents, who are this tip of the spear when it comes to the transformational work that every organization goes through, whether it is, you call it agile transformation, business transformation, digital transformation. There are different ways of doing it. But however, an SPC is in the flux of everything. It's in the middle of everything. These are the ones they help connect all the various aspects of the organization, such as business teams, technology teams, logistics teams, no matter whoever you talk about in terms of product development, and make it into a successful implementation. That's a definition of SPC, right? Now, the most important aspect that you all need to realize is an SPC is not a title. It's not, right? There is a misconception. I believe, in my biased opinion, there is a misconception out there that an SPC means, oh, you go to the exam, go for the 4-day class, which itself is relatively hard and impactful. And once you do the class, get your certification, and there you go, boom, you became an SPC. No. That is a validation of your knowledge. Validation of knowledge in something like SAFE big picture that you see on the screen here. Understanding each and every construct here, each and every artifact here, each and every process that is embedded in the big picture. And by the way, there is more to the big picture that we discussed in our classes, if you remember, right? It's not just what you see on the outset. There's a lot of mindsets, principles, and various ways on how to apply them. Those all come into play. So having that understanding of big picture is number one. Following that, next most important is understanding the intricacies of business agility. What are those competencies that make up the big picture that help you to be successful? As you have seen, just to reiterate, there are tangible executable stuff that you need to think about in terms of competencies, such as team and technical agility, agile product delivery, and enterprise solution delivery. There are strategic competencies such as LPM, organizational agility, and continuous learning culture. And there is a foundational competencies such as lean agile leadership. All these together with fundamental focus on customer centricity is what makes your transformation successful. But you as an SPC need to have solid understanding. If you remember, most of the time I would say, hey, I'm going to call you at 2 in the night to basically ask you what are the core values, what are the competencies. I mean, I really mean it. I don't want to call you. I'm not that kind of a person, but you should be knowledgeable enough with solid understanding of the SAFE framework, the competencies, and not to forget the steps involved in a typical transformation. Now, are these the only steps? Perhaps yes, perhaps no. But it's a good starting point. All the steps listed here in the implementation roadmap do help you with the transformation. But you may say, Ramesh, this is all great, man, but we just went through the SPC class or whatnot, all these details. I just wanted to reiterate the definition, as well as on one side, what is the definition of an SPC, and the other side, what next? Now, having clarified that, let's get started one, guys. To begin with, in my biased opinion, as an SPC, think like an SPC. I always say that. Please know your CBV. Now, what is CBV stand for? Right? First one is context. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing as an individual, please know the context of the environment you are in. Are you in a big transformational company? Are you in a supporting role for a small company? Are you in part of your own consultancy? What is that context? Then know the boundaries you need to have. Means, what is your scope comprised of, right? You need to know the context, know the boundaries. What is the scope comprised of? To what extent you have visibility into what is happening? Okay. Now, once you have those two things, comes the third element, which is the variables involved. Means, what are those tangibles that you can absolutely influence in an organization or an entity? And what are those variables that you just absolutely cannot, right? Cannot touch. The reason I wanted to start with this CBV concept is very simple. Throughout my professional life, this CBV helped me a lot. You may join a new company. You may start your own consultancy. You may actually want to become trainer. Doesn't matter, right? Whatever is your context, know it well. Know it well. Before jumping in, you need to know the depth of the ocean, right? Depth of the water. Otherwise, you'll hit your head. The same concept. Then know the boundaries. To what extent is your playing field? Then know the variables within that playing field to see what you can adjust, what you cannot adjust. Now, why this is important? Because that will help you to strategize your own course of life. Whether it is personal life, professional life, doesn't matter. Whatever the system you're talking about, doesn't matter. Know the CBV. Okay. And system can be your own self too. So far, so good. Did you follow this concept? Okay. Now, once you understand the CBV, start with identifying your bhag. Bhag in Hindi, it's called run. No, that's not what I meant. BHAG stands for big, hairy, audacious goals. Now, as an individual, guys, all of you as an individual, you need to have a bhag. Now, as a community of SPCs, you need to have a bhag. As an organization, the organization need to have a bhag. It's very important because bhag, as you can see in the picture, is basically defined as the intersection of the three elements. One is, what are you deeply passionate about? What drives your economic engine? And what can you be the best in the world at? It's very important to understand these three things. Again, this is my biased opinion, personal opinion. The reason is, once you figure out what is that intersection, that is what is going to be your North Star, the shooting star. Nothing can stop you once you figure out. Now, how do you do it? Very simple. Take a piece of paper, start writing it down. What are you deeply passionate about? Write it down, some bullet points. What drives your economic engine means how do you get paid? How do you get to pay the bills? Because I might be great in philanthropy. I might be very generous in giving, all the gifts away to people. But do I have a recurring revenue model to support that? Otherwise, you go belly bottom up, right? You go bankrupt. That's not the idea. And then what can you be the best in the world yet? Like, what is your true passion versus what is your true competency, the skill set? Ramesh Nori, my passion is to share my knowledge with people. But now my competency or skill set is, do I know how to teach? Do I know how to talk to people? They both need to meet. I might be great. I might have a great passion to actually talk to, share the insights with people. But if I don't know how to do public speaking, if I don't know how to communicate with people, doesn't work like that. Now, what if I get paid to communicate to people? Now, isn't it awesome? My passion, my competency, and my economic engine all are meeting. That is what is BHAG. That's a homework for you I want to give you. Now, once you identify the BHAG, the next most important thing is look around, guys. Look around. You are where you are because of some, various events or activities that might have happened in your life, right? You might be great in some kind of a, excuse me, technical expertise. That's why you became a software developer. You might be great at mentoring. So you might have entered the coaching context. You might be great at project management. So you became a project manager, so on. Look at your organizational goals and see if there are any goals for agility that might be in tune with your SPC kind of certification. That's one way to look at it, right? So identify the BHAG, then see the organization goals where you can apply the BHAG. The next one on that note is look at your personal goals also at the same time, right? Meaning, hey, you know what? I am at a point in my life. Should I actually start my own consultancy? What's your personal goal? Big, hairy, audacious goal. I want to be the top XYZ. I want to do this. I want to gain a name for myself in this field. I want to win a Nobel Prize. I'm just big, hairy. It doesn't matter whether you achieve it or not, but you need to have a target. Okay. So start with identifying your BHAG. Go back to see if your organizational goals align with you, and go back to see your personal goals are in alignment. You want to understand your organizational goals so that you can actually feel passionate to be part of it. That's the win-win. You want to see the personal goals so that you can actually decide whether you want to take a complete sidestep from what is happening. As an SPC, it is important for you to define what you want to become into the future. Good. Now, we'll have some time for questions, guys. If you have any questions, just document it or write it in the chat window. Our team is going to compile them and we'll come back to it. Now, as you continue to that, so step one, what it is get your CBV, which is context, boundaries, and variables. That's your personal minimums you need to know. Step two is have BHAG and understand your organizational goals and personal goals. Document them, write it them, please. Write them up. Then step three is identify the value streams available, guys. Every SPC, once you become an SPC, there are 3 value streams, in my opinion, that are available to you as a person in your personal context. First one is become a transformation consultant. Look in your organization. There might be already a transformation work happening. Okay. Now, transformation work doesn't mean only software-oriented approach. You can do a lot of different transformations. You can do some marketing innovations. You can do process innovations. Okay. You can do some kind of staffing innovations. There are so many different ways you can bring it up. You can use your knowledge. So go for it. Since you have a solid understanding of the framework supported by the competencies and the transformation roadmap, apply the knowledge. This is the time to apply knowledge as a transformation consultant. Now you can be a transformation agent if you are a full-time with an organization, apply it. Or you can actually become a consultant per se in true definition, where you go and help other companies. Perhaps it can be a pro bono to begin with, doesn't matter. Applying knowledge is the most critical thing to do first. Okay. Once that is done, then second value stream is to become an agile coach. Means you have the knowledge now, you have the understanding of the processes. Can you go ahead and help other people in the organization in terms of coaching? Can you help fix the gaps in the processes? Can you help implement the transformational, competencies properly, be it at the enterprise level or the program level? Now, I didn't intentionally put the team level here as an agile coach because that's kind of a scrum master thing. As an SPC, think big, guys. Think big. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't put yourself down. You need to actually think high. You need to aim high so that you reach higher states. Once that is the second value stream available. First is transformation consultant. Second is an agile coach, and the third one is a training specialist. Those are the value streams. Like as an SPC, once you become an SPC, right, you have the opportunity through SAFE to get enabled for up to, I believe, a dozen or so courses, be it 2-day courses or 3-day courses. Look at your passion, get connected with the right courses, and you can actually start imparting that knowledge to others through training. It's perfectly okay, right? So look at what matters the most to you. And this is step 3 is based on step 1 and step 2, which is understanding your context, know your boundaries, understand the variables you can play with, then understand your bhag, document it. Now your passion should connect to the purpose, okay, supported by the economic benefit. And there you go. Pick one or more of this. Truth be told, I was fortunate to be part of all the 3 value streams to a certain extent. I think in my life, training is about 20-30% of my professional career. Agile coaching and transformation consultants are about 40 and 40 equal, because transformation consultant and coaching for the most part, I think, overlap. They go hand in hand, but depends again. In my life, they are for the most part were going hand in hand. Okay. 3 value streams. All right. Now, any questions so far? Should I continue, wrap up the slide deck soon? We have a few slides and then open it up for discussion. I think that's what we should do. Okay. Now, continuing further, guys. Finer details, little bit. First and foremost, you may say, Ramesh, this is all great, but what is the starting point for me? I'm a brand spanking SPC. I just got minted. I got a tattoo of an SPC on my shoulder. What should I do next? Start meetup groups. Very important. If you do not want to start a new meetup group, become active in an existing meetup group, because that is how you learn for lifelong and you impart knowledge to others, right? Because unless you talk to people, the validation doesn't happen for your knowledge, whether you understood things properly or not. And the best, in my opinion, the best forum is a meetup group. Meetup groups are similar to communities of practice in a way. Passionate people meeting for a specific domain knowledge to discuss it further. Okay. Become very active in local agile communities, guys. You deserve it and the communities deserve it. Once you become an SPC, you have solid understanding of it. Go and become local in agile, become active in local agile communities. It's very important. And the reason being, there is a lot of flavors of SPC knowledge that is flying out there. I mean, unfortunately, me being one person cannot just fix everything, right? And that's not the intent here. The idea is, if you see that something is not being expressed properly or misunderstood in terms of a subject matter expertise, go ahead and help them, or you learn what is the difference between. Very important. Then the next one is all about practice, practice, practice. What are you trying to practice? Practice public speaking. As an SPC, for all the 3 value streams, whether you want to become a coach, a consultant, or even a trainer, public speaking is very critical. You should be able to look into the eyes of the students or attendees or in the forum, whoever is there, and speak to them. Practice, practice, practice public speaking. And again, where is the best location and venue to do that? Meetup groups and agile communities. Do a webinar, that's okay. Just go set up a meetup group or existing meetup group, go reach out to the organizers and say, can I speak about this small topic for 15 minutes? It's okay. World is not going to judge you. Just go for it. Practice, invest in yourself. The next one alongside of public speaking is please practice some kind of a sketching or imagery competency. Means you should be able to express your ideas through sketches, through drawings. Truth be told, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So go for it. You have to get into that habit. Again, this is my biased opinion, right? Then the third one, which is very critical, that helped me a lot, is get familiar with agile tools. As an SPC, I believe you have a vested interest in the whole safe or agile transformations and the knowledge, right? Be it a typical Scrum mastery side of things, or a typical program side of things, or even at the executive side of things. Get to know your tools, whether it is Jira's of the world, whether it is version 1, Rally Dev, Plan.io, PI Planning.io. There's so many tools out there. The reason I say this is I have seen again and again, one of the biggest gaps in the growth for SPCs is tooling or lack of tooling familiarization. They walk into the company, they're using Jira, for example, the company. You get in, you wanted to help, but to help, you need to understand the context. I'm going back to my slide, what I said. To understand the context, you need to actually review, you need to perform some assessment, etc. You can't just sit there and wait for somebody to tell you what it is. Then it becomes their biased opinion. But if you are familiar with the tool, like Jira, for example, and I'm not telling you should become a champion, good enough, dangerous enough, I say that, right? Dangerous enough that you can create trouble. Go into the tool, run the reports by yourself, do the assessments, because then your context and the boundaries will make it easy for you to understand what are the variables you are dealing with. That will help you to have a solid understanding of the scope that you are doing. Okay. So again, please invest time in becoming better at public speaking. Invest in developing the skill set of imagery or sketching, and get to know the tools. There are so many zillion videos on Vimeo or YouTube, or even if you go to the tool provider's website, you will see them there. Just go ahead and start playing with it. You can even sign up for a demo account. Okay. Then last one, very important, guys, is please invest in continuous learning. Do not ever become stagnant. The knowledge keeps on improving. The methods with which we are solving the worldly problems in transformations is changing at an exponential pace. And if you think that, oh, I'm an SPC from last year, I'm going to go and do something. You know what? Last year, too bad, it was SPC 5.0. This year, the version is 5.1. Already something is changing. And who knows? In about a year, we might see actually 6.0. We don't know that yet. You have to be on that learning curve. You got to be ahead of everybody. You have to push it yourself. You need to make it your goal. Like, I must be at the edge of everything. Do not let your knowledge become stale. Okay. Maybe perhaps at the end of the day, guys, start your SPCT journey. Because truth be told, when I started my SPCT journey, I think that is the most intense experience I have ever had in terms of learning. Not even in college, not even in university did I learn so much at such a fast pace, and also be able to apply the knowledge and share the knowledge with peers. So think about it. Think about it. Have again, one more time, have that CBV definition, know what your bhag is, then understand the value streams you have as an SPC that you can actually pursue further. Get to know some kind of improve yourself with some participation in terms of meetup groups, agile communities. Practice the public speaking, sketching, tooling familiarization. Invest in continuous learning, be it attending some kind of seminars, events, webinars, whatever it is. And think about it. Maybe you should actually invest yourself, your career into becoming an SPCT. Nothing is, going to stop you. It's all in you. You have to actually focus on becoming one. Okay. So now coming to that, let us go back a little bit into the intrinsic value system. Okay. For every individual as an SPC, set some personal qualifiers, guys. So in case you do not know, I'm an experimental aviator. I fly experimental planes. In aviation industry, for every pilot, there is a concept called personal minimums. Means, are you comfortable flying in gusty winds? To what extent? Are you comfortable in landing in a very short runway? To what extent? Are you okay with the crosswind? Can you fly in the night? How high can you fly? What kind of plane you can fly? You see, these are all falling into what is called personal minimums. The same thing we do also. For example, if you are learning how to ride a motorcycle, you don't want to just start with Hayabusa, which is one of the high-end motorcycle. You're going to fall down and crack your bones. But what is your personal minimum? Oh, I'm going to go up to the speed of 60 miles per hour. Oh, I want to go only in the city life. I don't want to drive in a fast race track. These are the things. So like that, as an SPC, please work on your personal minimums. Okay. First and most valuable thing, develop code of ethics, guys. The code of ethics is what defines you, your character, and your individual personality. In my opinion, it's the most critical thing, code of ethics. Okay, everybody knows code of ethics, so I don't need to allude into that. Next most important thing I would strongly request you to build is code of conduct. How you deal with your peers. Because if you give respect to your friends, family, and peers, you get it automatically. If your heart is pure, you're pure talking it. The reason why I want to mention that is, as an SPC, you end up with meeting a lot of people, getting into conversations with a lot of people, and perhaps you may start your own company or you may become partner in another company. And these are the things that define you, and that's going to influence your whole value streams into the future. So make sure that you have a solid understanding of what is happening. Okay. Next one is very important, is develop situational awareness. Know what is happening. This goes hand in hand again with the CBV, the context, the boundaries, and the variables. Okay. If you are trying to become a consultant, is the market ripe for a consultant? If you want to become a trainer, do we have enough trainers already in the market? Are you competing with already a bloated system? Or you want to become a trainer in a specific subject such as lean portfolio management, agile product management, so on and so forth? We can choose. Develop the situational awareness. How is the market doing? What is happening? Make sense? Now, with all these things, guys, don't feel shy to find a mentor. There are a lot of people who are ready to help you. But again, mentorship has nothing to do with money. Use your discretion there. Yeah. Find a mentor. Be very transparent and sincere. If you are sincere, if the person who is mentoring you has that innate ability of a mentor, they will understand you and they will connect with you. Okay. Find a mentor, because sometimes it always helps for somebody to tell you, hey, Mr. A, you're going left. That is a dead end. Go to the right. Or perhaps you should try this way. Perhaps you should try. There is always that sounding board or whiteboard is always a great thing to have, especially as a human being, right? Find a mentor in whatever you do. But before that, you need to do the homework, like I said in the previous slides. Once you find a mentor, the next most important thing you want to do is form a cohort group, like-minded individuals. Couple of SPCs, I'm sure everyone has some. They might be part of your family, part of your peers at work, part of your thing, or maybe your mentor can help you. Hey, wait a minute, Mr. A, I met this girl, Miss X. I think you should talk to each other, and together maybe you form a cohort group, so on and so forth. Okay, because the idea behind forming a cohort group is really to have somebody to hold you accountable other than yourself. I mean, if you can hold yourself accountable, guys, that's the greatest trait. but you decided on the value stream, you want to become something, you need somebody to hold you accountable. So go with that. And the best way to do it is forming a cohort group. Then towards the end, make a difference. You have to put it as a part of your OKRs. You all know what are OKRs, right? Objectives and key results. You must set your objectives very clearly, going back to your big, hairy, audacious goals and so on. Okay. Then be a differentiator. Nothing is going to come for free just like that. Make it happen. We are all here to support you. Okay. Just decide what it is and go with that. Now, on closing, right? I just kept it very lighthearted this time. On closing, what we want to suggest is call me. I keep telling you, call anybody from CyberBahn team. Connect with us. This is not a sales call or a social pitch. What I want you to understand is don't feel lonely. We've been there, done that. We are here. We will help you to the best possible extent as humanly as possible, right? So call us. Just understand that we are here for you. Stop worrying. That should not be the issue for you. Your issue is yourself. Figure it out. You have to do the homework. You need mentoring. You need coaching. You need a little bit of help here and there. We are here for you. We will walk through with you. We will go through ups and downs with you. Okay. Don't let that be the reason why you don't progress. Because when you are an SPC, you already proved to yourself that you are someone different. Okay. So with that, I want to bring this to a closure, guys. Aim high. Do not let that happen.